The period of slavery in the United States, spanning the 17th to the 19th century, marks one of the darkest chapters in human history. In this video, we will delve into an often overlooked yet harrowing aspect of this era: the abuse inflicted on black slaves by white women, shedding light on stories that have long been hidden in the shadows. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our content. And before we begin, please give this video a thumbs up to help us bring awareness to these important, untold stories. The overlooked role of white women in slavery. While much of the narrative around slavery focuses on the brutality of white men, white women were also deeply complicit in perpetuating the institution. Despite societal expectations of being the moral center of the home, many white women used their authority to enforce and exploit the labor of enslaved individuals. Let's explore some of the ways this abuse manifested. The role of black men in transportation. Black men played a vital role in the transportation networks of the time, handling wagons, ships, and other forms of goods delivery that were critical to the Southern economy. White women relied heavily on the products transported by enslaved men to maintain their households. Although they did not directly oversee these tasks, their dependence on this labor reinforced the system of exploitation. This hidden layer of involvement illustrates how the institution of slavery extended beyond physical labor to an intricate web of economic and social dependencies, where white women's comfort and lifestyles were built on the backs of black men. Domestic servants, enslaved, lives in the home. Enslaved black men were often forced into domestic servitude, tasked with cooking, cleaning, laundry, and even childcare. Despite their proximity to white families, they were subjected to relentless dehumanization. For many elite white women, the household was not just a place of leisure, but also a domain where they exercised absolute control over their slaves, using humiliation and punishment to assert dominance. Running errands and overseeing households. White women frequently assigned enslaved black men to run errands, such as purchasing goods at the market or delivering messages. Beyond these mundane tasks, enslaved men were often burdened with managing complex household operations, yet they were met with exploitation and mistreatment at every turn. This dynamic highlights the dual role of enslaved individuals as both essential contributors to daily life and targets of systemic abuse. Forced participation in personal tasks. In some cases, enslaved men were forced to assist white women with highly personal tasks, such as dressing, grooming, and styling hair. These interactions placed enslaved individuals in deeply vulnerable positions, often leading to psychological and physical exploitation. The power imbalance in these interactions underscores the complex and insidious nature of slavery, where even acts of service were fraught with abuse and humiliation. The horrors of sexual exploitation. White women were not exempt from the moral failings of slavery. Many were complicit in the sexual exploitation of enslaved individuals, forcing black men and women into non-consensual relationships for personal gratification or economic gain. Enslaved women, in particular, were often coerced into bearing children who could then be sold, perpetuating the cycle of exploitation. This horrific practice highlights how white women actively participated in the dehumanization of black individuals while maintaining a veneer of respectability. Their actions contributed to the perpetuation of slavery and its devastating effects on generations of enslaved people. Frances Fanny Kemble's revelations. Frances Fanny Kemble, a British actress and writer, provides a rare and invaluable perspective on the lives of enslaved individuals through her journals. Married to a plantation owner, Kemble documented the cruel realities of slavery and the role white women played in its perpetuation. Her work, Journal of a Residence on a Georgian Plantation, sheds light on how white women managed and disciplined enslaved individuals, often displaying callousness and cruelty. Kemble's writings reveal the duality of their roles. While some white women recognized the immorality of slavery, others were deeply enmeshed in its enforcement. Starvation as a weapon of control. Food was often used as a tool of control and punishment. Enslaved individuals were provided with meager rations that barely sustained them, leaving them vulnerable to malnutrition and disease. White women, who often managed household provisions, used starvation to exert power over their slaves, further exacerbating their suffering. This form of oppression highlights the calculated cruelty that characterized the institution of slavery. By controlling access to basic necessities, white women reinforced their dominance and maintained a system of exploitation. Indoctrinating the next generation. White women played a crucial role in teaching their children to view slavery as a natural and necessary institution. From a young age, children were taught to see black individuals as inferior and to perpetuate the racial hierarchies that upheld slavery. This early indoctrination ensured the system's survival, embedding prejudice and exploitation into the fabric of Southern society for generations, perpetuating a system of injustice. By normalizing the exploitation of black men and women, white women helped sustain the institution of slavery. Their actions, whether overt or subtle, reinforced the economic and social structures that dehumanized an entire population. Understanding their role challenges the simplistic narratives of history and forces us to confront the complexities of complicity and power. What did you find most surprising or troubling about today's video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear your perspective. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others to spread awareness about this often ignored part of history. Don't forget to check out the other videos on our channel for more eye-opening content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.